What's going on, Coach? Coach? Coach, can you hear me? Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right. Welcome to the 81 podcast. It is your host, Asif Ali, and I
I
am
heard you
here
for a
with...
minute.
Oh, you're good? Yeah, it took you a minute. Welcome to the 81 podcast. Your host, Asif Ali, and I'm here with my former coach and the current coach and owner of the Chicago Falcons semi-professional football team, Coach Tom Rob Robinson. Coach Rob, how you doing today, Coach?
I'm great. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, it's been a while since we actually got to, since I've seen you. It's been a couple of years. How's everything been? Can you hear me?
I, you're going in and out.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you real good now.
Oh, perfect. All right. Yeah, I was just asking,
Yes.
how have you been, Coach? It's been a minute. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Okay.
Try it again.
Okay. Can you hear me now? How about now?
You keep like freezing.
Keep freezing. Okay, but can you hear me on the audio or no? Let me try calling
I
you
can
on my
hear
phone.
you on the audio real good.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just stick with the audio. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so how you been, Coach? How have you been? Can you hear me? You can't hear me, Coach?
Do what?
Let
Try
me
calling back.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you back on my phone, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me end this. Okay, can you hear me now, Coach?
Yes, I can.
All right. Welcome to the A1 Podcast. Your host, Asif Ali. I'm here with my coach, Chicago Falcons owner and head coach, the man, the myth, semi-pro, Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Tom Rob Robinson. Coach Rob, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great.
100%.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, it's been a minute. How you been?
Oh, well, just doing just as everyone else, trying to stay safe and hoping and wishing we can get this football going and make everybody happy.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, we were supposed to have the 30th anniversary of the Falcons Bank, but I was looking forward to that, but I'm not sure if that wasn't able to happen because of the COVID, Yeah. And obviously the Falcons have been around.
I had to cancel, reschedule.
Yeah,
30
so it's going
years.
30 years. And for our viewers who don't know, the Falcons are literally as old as me. I was born April 1990. The Falcons have been around, were founded in April of 1990, and they're the longest running program in the state of Illinois. So, Coach Rob, there's a reason why this man's in the Hall of Fame. So, man. So yeah, tell me. So what? What are the Falcons? But even though it's funny that you mentioned there's been no football. I know I saw a post from Hotspot Radio that the Falcons donated recently to one of the Christmas charities for Hotspot Radio. So
Yes, we are a proud sponsor of the Adopt a Family program, sponsored by Hotspot Radio. DJ Los and Lexus, and we're proud to be in our third year of their fourth year celebration. And I believe yesterday was the end of the submissions of the essays. And once we are contacted, they will give us a list of kids and the sizes and the ages, and then we'll go out and buy gifts along with other sponsors as well. And like I said, this is our third year of participating, and we look forward to it.
100%. So let's go ahead and start off with your background, Coach. For listeners who don't know you, kind of start with your early years, and kind of go into kind of your coaching career.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Mobile, Alabama. I was trained by a lot of the older guys who were going off to college and going to the NFL, and I was looking forward to being one of the bright spots at one of the major universities there, which I won't say the name right now, but I ended up, my mother moved to Chicago, and I was very rebellious of that move. I didn't want to leave. And I ended up in Chicago. I didn't want to go to school. So I actually didn't drop out of high school, but I just didn't go. And my older brother and sister them and mom and them said, hey, look, you either going to go to school or you're going to work. Well, I went to school. And I ended up at Orr High School. And I had a super career there playing football and wrestling. And I went to Northeastern Illinois University. Being an 18-year-old guy, I imagine when guys getting scholarship offers from all over the country, it's a hard decision to make, So I was at the point where I just wanted to work and help my family survive, and I wasn't going to go to school because, number one, I couldn't make up my mind where I wanted to go. And my high school coach went and registered me for Northeastern Illinois University, told me how to get there. And if I didn't be there by August the 1st, he would do something to me. I was afraid of that 5'5" Italian Ray Salatino because I knew what kind of damage he can do.
Yeah.
And I took my behind up to Northeastern Illinois University, and the rest was history. I set a lot of records. I played a lot of football. I met a lot of people. Ended up getting my degree into physical education and general health. Became a teacher at the Orr High School and a coach. And I was there for 25 years where I graduated from, the old Welcome Back Carter thing. And guys, I was only like 22 years old, and guys were saying, well, you're ready for the NFL, you can go. And I was like, I'm working, I'm making money. And a guy by the name of Roosevelt Carr said, I'm going to semi-pro football practice in Mount Greenwood. Would you like to go? And well, of course, I said, sure, I'll go. I went out there, and the rest was history. I joined the Chicago Heights Broncos, and when guys saw me, they said, man, you could get into the NFL. I was like, I just like playing football. Yeah. And I had some very cagey veterans blocking for me and playing for me, and I ended up signing an NFL contract with the Denver Broncos.
Yes, you did.
I was at the time when they were introducing AstroTurf. It was new, so they didn't have it all really together. So in Denver, of course, it was wet.
Yeah.
On the ground in the morning, would do turf in the mornings, but they would just roll it out over concrete, tack it down. In the evening, we practice on grass. I ended up getting injured during camp, and I had a decision to make. Well, they were going to make it for me. I either had to return to Chicago, rehab, and come back. And my agent got me a contract to be part of a team to go to Europe to introduce American football.
Mhm.
So I took the trip to Europe, was promised my job when I returned, and I was on the team that toured Europe with American football in 1977. You can go in the blue and white Chicago Lions.
Mhm.
And then I became a coach, a semi-pro in high school, and 4 Hall of Fames. I did something.
You're good. You're good.
Football Association Hall. And of course, these are just some of the memorabilia from the Chicago Falcons.
Yes, sir. Chicago Falcons. Actually, no. Let me get mine real quick because I forgot to wear my jersey, but I'm just gonna wear this just so we match right here. Falcons for
Oh
life.
yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, good,
Yeah,
good. Well, the rest is history.
yeah.
I've
And
been
I mean,
coaching 45 years and
mhm.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. So let's talk more about when you formed the Falcons. Kind of what was your initial vision? Was it with you and Coach Armin Covington, or was it your idea and then Armin Covington came along the fold?
Well, actually, a funny story. Armin Covington was one of my assistant coaches in high school, and we loved we loved and enjoyed football so much. We've been together for 45 years, and if he moves left, I move left. If I move right, he moves right, and we never really had any disagreement about anything. We had a lot of talented young athletes come out of Orr High School that we had coached, and they started playing semi-pro football. So we went out, Covington and I went out to watch the games, and these guys wasn't playing. And we were like, they're sitting on the bench. And we're looking at the talent that was on the team. And we said, those guys should be starting. They should be playing more football.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, when I decided one day, hey, Cub, let's do this. Let's start our own team. And that's how it became. You know, the partnership between Armin Covington and Coach Rob carried on the semi-pro football until today.
And it's crazy because, obviously, in the 90s and the 2000s, and obviously when you played coming out of college, semi-pro was a lot. I wouldn't say it was more serious, but it was the NFL
No,
and
you
the major.
can't.
Yeah,
No, you
exactly. I mean,
you can't say it, because that's what mesmerized me with semi-pro when we were playing. 90% of the guys I played with came from the NFL.
right.
You know, and they were telling me you should be there, and I'm like, well, these guys just came from the Eagles, they just came from the Bears, they just came from the Redskins. What the heck? I'm just gonna do what they say do. And we had DJ Dennis Jones signed with the Denver Broncos. We had Larry Ball signed with the Dallas Cowboys. We had Bobby Wright. I mean, just the whole list of them. You know. And they were doing their thing, and they had a lot of hope in me, and they schooled me on. Larry Ball happened to train me before I went to the Denver Broncos when I signed my contract, and he was a beast. Oh God, he was one of the fastest guys that I ever played with, and he signed with the Bears and the Cowboys at one time, but he trained me so hard. I had no body fat. Well, of course, you can't see that now.
We talking about the prime Rob days, folks.
Yeah, the prime
NFL Rob.
Now, my time in the 40 wasn't that fast. It was 4.5 flat, but that was fast enough. I was a punt returner.
Yeah,
I was a punt returner, kick off returner. I've never downed a ball in my life.
Right. So kick returner, punt returner, everything.
I never believed in fair catching. I'll be 10, 8, 9 yards in the end zone, and then everybody stopped blocking and just look around, and I just took off running.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had that. So I mean, a lot of guys had a lot of confidence in me, and I really didn't have to speak a lot toward the talent and the things I did because my teammates stuck up for me, and they still do today. You know, so I played with the likes of Fred Mitchell, who was one-time head sports writer for the Chicago Tribune. He's in our fraternal organization, Chicago Hike Broncos Hall of Fame members. And you know, we had just a ton of talent.
Right. So now we talk about now back when your day when you played. Now let's fast forward to present day when I played and kind of the struggles that we see now with semi-pro. You know, the struggles that we see now with guys not taking it seriously, guys not showing up to practice, guys not being able to transport themselves. Obviously, when I was there, I had to obviously bring guys back and forth to practice and whatnot. And I mean, I enjoyed it because obviously it gave us a better chance to win. It made us more of a team. But talk to me as to kind of what your motivation has been in light of all of the issues. Because when I watched the Falcons documentary, and we're going to go more into Phil and obviously all the losses we've had this year in a bit, but when we talk about kind of the motivation to keep the franchise going for 30 plus years, people don't know this. I didn't know it until I started my own team. It takes a lot to run a team in semi-pro. It takes a lot to coach. It takes a lot to own what you do. You do both. It takes a lot to bear the financial burden, to write the playbook, to recruit, and just to delegate, and obviously, I mean, you're obviously great at delegating. So coach, talk to me a little bit about that. What are your motivations and kind of, obviously with all the difficulties that you've encountered, throughout your tenure, as coach and owner of the Falcons?
Well, out of those 30 years, I have to be totally honest with you. I did all the work for 15 straight years.
I already know, coach.
Got travel expenses.
Had
to get money for the guys. Had to feed them. Had to I did that until a guy by the name of Joe Praneta came on the scene.
Yes, sir.
For 15 years, he lightened the load for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, he would let me know where we were playing at, when we were playing, how to get there, what time to get there. He booked games. We were known to play 30 games a season.
Wow.
We play on Saturday nights. We would play on Sundays the next day, or we would play on Saturday at 12 noon and come back and play at 7 o'clock in the city, p.m., the same night. So those are the kind of people we had that was serious about the game of football versus what we have now. And what motivates me to continue all of the teams back in the day that started and was around for our first 10, 15 years that no longer exist.
Right.
They are no longer existing in the Midwest, in the country, anywhere. And so we're the Chicago Falcons are known locally. We're known throughout the state. We're known throughout and what motivated me to continue to go through times like when you came and saw that the young people wasn't as motivated, and I understood a long time ago, I can't live my life through them. They have to live their life. And I can't live it for them, and they have to make decisions on what they want to do. Right. Well, it's like you say, not just a lot of work being a coach, it's a lot of work involved in being a player and a dedicated player. So my motivation to keep going right now is that I understood from being a teacher and an assistant principal of a school of 1,500 kids, I learned that it was more to life than just football. Mm-hmm. There were people out here in need of relationship building, needing to know how to relate and build relationships. Just as you found out when you came, you built relationships that stand today.
Yes, sir.
A brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
Somebody you can call and email and FaceTime and whatever you young folks do. I call it face value book.
Face value.
You're on that face value book thing. And so you're always in contact
Right.
with somebody you met here on this team.
Yes,
And
sir.
just think, if this team did not exist, there would be no brotherhood for young people to hold on to.
100%.
And then we got more into feeding the homeless once a month. We got more of the helping people in the time of need. And so it became more than a football thing for me. It became a look at it as a move to make changes. Being here, making young people like yourself, you're motivated, you relocated, still got the drive to go. Football is dead set in your heart, and that's what's driving you. That's what's driving us. We got it in our heart, and you met good people along the way.
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously, most of those good people are from the Falcons. I mean, most of those people, and the brothers who I have, like Fonder. I actually had Fonder on Saturday, and we're talking about the first time we went to the Blue Devils game, and then obviously, like, he thought we were in a car accident because remember you saw me on the freeway and I was zooming past you, Coach, and then I'm like, I almost hit the divider, and Fonder and his little brother was sitting in the back seat, and then they woke up like, damn, LA almost fucking crashed to the side cylinder block. I'm like, well, I'm gonna make sure we don't get late.
Yeah,
and Fonder,
you're the speed demon.
Yeah, exactly. Speed demon. I mean, you see what I drive, so I mean, it should be assumed, but it's one of those things where, now that I have this podcast and now that we have a platform to kind of, spread the word, spread the message, I want to do that, for everyone who's done good by me, and obviously the Falcons were the last team I played for, competitively, and the viewers now know that, this last team I ever been with, and I mean, that's why I got this ring. And like I told my few guests, this is my proudest ring because even though we didn't win the league, we still, with all the difficulties we faced that year, and everything we had to overcome as a team to get the guys to come out and get the guys to go to practice and get the guys to show up to the game, we still showed up and we still balled out. We still showed up. We still competed. We still the scoreboard, and this is where I'm getting at. The scoreboard and the record only tells a part of the story. It doesn't tell the full story. You know what I mean? The full story is kind of like you said, what the behind the scenes and what people don't appreciate on the field. So, yeah, exactly. So
you're absolutely right. And I promise you, if we had that Hall of Fame banquet in April, and you had been there, you would have seen you would have just it just would have been bone chilling to see the past and the future mixed with the current players. And I can't even describe the feeling that that goes on. And see grown men crying in front of their wives and their girlfriends and their kids because of the brotherhood they shared with one another. And the memories, as you just said, the Blue Devil, the memories go deep.
Right. Exactly. I mean, those memories, the brotherhood. And now I want to talk about some of the brothers that we've lost for the past year. Let's start with the first one. This one's close to me because, we used to hang out a lot, outside of football. Maurice Caesar Patterson. He passed away officially a year ago, last Thursday. Kind of talk to me about because when I talked to Founder about it, we were both talking about how it just we were frozen when the news broke and we saw the video, and it's just chilling, like you said, it's bone chilling to kind of really experience that, So kind of how did that impact you, Coach? How was your initial reaction when the news broke?
Well, hey man, I love you guys like you're my own kids, and I basically have two bodyguards with me when things like that happen. Two of the former players, they come and they be on my side through those ordeals, and I might be getting a little emotional now because we have a dedication page in our ad book every year with our what we call the Fallen Falcons. So we list those people and have a moment of silence. And just a few days prior to Caesar's incident, he was over to the house volunteering, helping me unload things from the trailer. So my wife met him, met his kids, and it's just like it was it was shattering. As I said, it's hard to accept when I lose one of our own, and I feel that close to the guys and the families as well. So I met his wife, and she's a charming young lady. And matter of fact, it was so funny that at the funeral, we discovered that I was her sister-in-law's teacher, an administrator in elementary school.
Wow.
And they were related, and so it gets deep for me, man. That's why, I got a little emotional when you brought that up, because we have lost at least 7 Falcons, and they all, we were all close together, and even a young lady, our first inductee, female inductee in the Chicago Falcons Hall of Fame, Diane Johnson. She was our trainer for 16 years. And so we have a list of our fallen Falcons, and Caesar is up at the top, with Henry Baptiste and Fufu and Ty Sanders and Johnny Stamps, and the list is there, and it touches my emotion to even just think about the fond memories we had together. And I would go see Caesar at work. He would tell me to come by, do what he needed to do, and I'd drive by and we'll have a chat, and we'll just, when guys call me, I just come.
Yeah.
He's dearly missed.
100%. It's tough, man. Like, it's for me too. Caesar was like a little brother to me, because he'd always message me whenever I'm at work, and like what you said, you visit me one time at work when I was working downtown at Blue Cross over there.
Yeah.
And then he was always the type of guy where he would try to make you laugh, he would try to make you smile, and he'd always be someone. And when Noah was born, he invited me to Noah's baby shower. Yeah, man, it's just for me too.
And another, he was for the team.
Right.
And he played all positions that he was asked to do. No questions asked. He's a running back, but he played center.
Exactly.
He played guard. He played D-lad. Just a team. But that's what the Falcons bring out in people.
Yes, sir.
They share of their talent, no matter where you put them. They don't cry. They don't, be disgruntled or anything. They just go and do.
Yes, sir.
What they call for. And I tell you, you guys are some hell of a young men being in contact with one another still today. There was no sour notes when you leave, when people around the Falcons and life calls them for something else. There's no sour notes. They become closer to us.
Yeah, and I think to that point, Coach, the Falcons aren't just a team; it's a family. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the whole differentiating factor is. That's why I think the team has lasted for so long, because, like you said, you're not just preaching football; you're teaching life lessons, you're teaching mentorship, you're teaching career advice and counseling. A lot of the guys may not be in the best criminal standing. Giving them some different ideas about outlooks in life, being kind of father figure to them, and also kind of us as men, individually kind of reaching out to each other and kind of, lifting each other up when they're down, and just me being that, I totally agree with that, so, and obviously Fonda's talking about, also, when you left, try your own team, but he's like, there was no sour notes. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
I'm good, Coach.
Huh?
No, I'm good. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I'm good.
No, I was just saying, I was just saying, you know, it seemed like it becomes thicker
Right.
when people leave. The mixes become thicker together because there's not a time when they really don't mention your name. You know,
Yeah.
you know, there's not a time when they don't mention other guys, Shaq's name or Jonathan's name, any of them. I mean, it's just you're embedded in there.
Right.
You are embedded in the Falcon lingo, in the conversation.
Yes, sir. Falcons for life, baby. And now,
Yeah,
and now, and now, one more depressing topic because
and
this one,
yes,
this one was close to home, but obviously Phil, because part of me still hasn't really processed it yet. I mean, I processed it, I made terms with it, I mean, but it's just the whole manner in which it took place because, this is my first time actually discussing this publicly, but with Carl, Carl was one of the first guys to ever welcome me when I was on the team, when I first, came out, try out, and everything like that. When Hudo actually reached out to me was Tenard. Tenard actually hit me up on Messenger and he said, "Hey, do you know that this just happened?" And then I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, did I read that correctly? And I called him. I'm like, "Wait, is this true?" And then I read the paper and it's true. And I'm just like, "Oh man!" Like, so kind of talk to me about that. How that was. Because Phil and Carl are both really exceptional players.
yeah. I have to sometimes and stuff was thing and you forget certain names and stuff. Uh, I didn't try to omit the name, but imagine me sitting in my man cave where I am at 2
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
and I get a phone call from a newspaper reporter asking me if I know of anyone named Carl North.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. I'm watching football like I always do. I record 100 games. And I'm like half crazy. Like, why are you calling me asking me, did you know he was arrested tonight? And I said, no, I didn't hear anything. And so he started breaking it down to me. Uh, the incident, and it was shocking. Nevertheless, I did not get to go to sleep the rest of that morning.
Right.
And I quickly text Chris Blackman
Yep.
because he's the best contact guy I got out there. He texted me back, what? And he looked it up for something. I don't know how you guys do that stuff, on that technology. And he told me what happened. I said, that's what this guy just said. He said he didn't know that both guys were brothers. He referred to Carl killing another man because the information was all new. It just happened or something, and referred to the other guy. There was a man involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then Chris enlightened me as to everything. And I did get a call back from the reporter the next morning, and he clarified a lot of things. And he did an article. I thought it was a very tasteful art. It was a nice article he did in the paper regarding that incident about Ray and Carl. And there was I can't even I can't say enough about those guys, man. They just
Yeah. Nah,
it's so good, man. That's not,
yeah, no.
you
It's
know,
too.
I I mean, if you saw the Falcons Way of Life video, Raymond was working on doing a documentary on the
I saw
Falcons.
that. Yep, I saw it.
And that was a snippet of what he had taken so much footage
Yeah.
that he didn't have a chance to put it. I mean, he interviewed people, and he was just trying to get a little snippet out there that snips away, but he never, it never really material. I think he did a hell of a job in what he did and what he showed us, what he was about to do, and we're gonna try and get that completed one day.
Yeah.
Because I think he was on a roll with that.
Yeah.
And we reached out to the family, and we were all. I mean, the Falcons represented at the funeral. I mean, they always do.
Yeah.
All the Falcons were there, and the younger brother, and it's just was a lot of support, a lot of team support, a lot of love for those guys, man. Unfortunately, that it was earth shaking for all of us, and devastating. We still in contact with the family and stuff, but when you lose people like those guys there, and then we actually lost 4 in the year, so it's a rough thing.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
I hope you save that for the last, because I don't know how much more I can talk about this thing.
No. That's it. No,
without
that's
breaking down.
No, you're good, Coach. No, I mean, and obviously the emotions obviously me. I mean, I may not be expressing it, but I mean, it hit all of us. When I had Fonder on, I asked him the same question about how he felt when he heard the news about both of them, and it's just I mean, it's just like you said, it's earth-shattering. It's just because you don't predict, you don't expect these things to come, and when these things just happen, it just hits you so differently. Because Carl, I mean, in light of the circumstances, it's just like I would never have predicted. I would never have seen Carl. His character did not speak. This is something happened. I mean, I can't. This is not. I mean, this ain't the Carl you and I. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just when you think about it, and you
not at all. Just, I was with those guys 3 years.
Yeah.
I was with those guys 3 years, man. I'd never seen them quarrel, argue. I mean, you just think about it. Carl was the quarterback and Ray was the receiver. And if he didn't throw in the ball, he didn't ever get mad or angry or anything. And those guys would travel on the road everywhere we went. They would feed guys that didn't have money to eat with. It was just, they were just a hell of a group of guys. Those 2 guys were just Falcon bound. Just true Falconness,
Yeah. So no, but I mean, yeah, just hopefully the losses stop. That's the point. That the last question for that. So yeah, we'll focus on more positive things, man. Like we got Coach. I mean, hopefully the 31st banquet will come up next year. Hopefully when COVID starts to subside, right? And
oh man, I'm waiting. I'm so waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting too. Shit, I was ready to come this year, and then it's like, oh wait,
to get the. Yeah, the guys want the jackets. They've been looking for their Hall of Fame jackets and the rings and the awards, and oh my goodness gracious, and wait till your turn comes.
Yeah, I already know. I can't wait, Coach. I can't wait. When I get that when I get that call for the Hall of Fame induction, I'm gonna book a one-way ticket. I'm just gonna be first one out.
Don't be surprised, man. Don't be surprised. Your name is out there amongst people.
All right. Well, I can't wait. I mean, I appreciate that you acknowledge that. I appreciate their acknowledgement. Obviously, the Falcons meant to me, and like I told my other guests, when I played arena, when I played JUCO ball, social media was not as big as it was prior to me moving to Chicago and obviously joining the Falcons. When I joined the Falcons, obviously not only promoting the Falcons brand helped the Falcons, but helped me. Like I was also able to benefit by now getting an audience that like I would have never envisioned in the sport of football. And like we talked about, I don't play for the money. I don't play for fame. I don't play for anything. I play because I love the game, And the guests I've had on for the past 2 weeks, I've just kind of communicated that, and they all kind of share that, and you also share that too, Coach. And that's why we're so connected. You're connected with so many others, and obviously the brothers on the Falcons are also connected because we all share that love and that passion for the game, regardless of what our aspirations or goals are, regardless of our backgrounds, right? But I think the biggest thing to know from that, biggest thing to know from that is that this ring, like I said, is my proudest ring because of my role on that team. I wasn't just a player. I wasn't just a GM. I was a team leader, and that's feedback I got, and to hear that from guys like Fonder, hear that from guys like who else? Like Twan or whoever. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who comes from Gibbs. You know what I mean? From Gibbs and Wale, Ryan. Ryan. Obviously Ryan being kind of like now the senior leader on the team. Like just the whole brotherhood and the family. It doesn't matter what your role is. It's a family. You know what I mean? Play out position, do what you gotta do for the team.
That's one of the things.
Yeah,
that's one of the outspoken things about you, that we didn't have to tell you to do anything. We didn't have to direct you to do anything. It was done.
Yeah,
it was happening.
Yes,
and I mean, like you've been around 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. A lot of times new guys come in, they're a little shy, they bury their head back in the background. But you took the front runner, and you took the bag on the shoulder and just started moving, making things happen, and got recognized by the players. The guys that you just mentioned, the Fondas and the Wale's, the Blackmans, and the Ryans. They said, this guy, like, he's been around forever. He just stepped in a role and started doing more than one role.
Right.
Making things happen. I remember, and you met, well, who was that? I mean, he's got a lot of energy.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, she was that guy got a lot of energy, man. I'm like, yeah, that's LA.
Yeah, man. Fonder was telling me he watched our interview with Hotspot Radio on YouTube, and he said it's one of his favorite interviews. Remember the interview we had, you, me, and Tenard, with Hotspot Radio. So Fonder was watching that, and he was telling me it was one of his favorite interviews. Yeah. So energy and initiative and kind of drive and passion is what I do. When I started coaching, obviously not just semi-pro over there, but I started coaching varsity high school over here last year. That was something which I brought to the table, and the kids, it just helps the team move, whatever the team needs me to do. So I appreciate that, Coach. I appreciate that. So
that's what you did. Yeah, you were and you had free reign.
Yeah, I did.
There wasn't no restrictions.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever it is, it motivated you to do what you had to do, and where you are today, you won't stop moving because you're a shaker and a maker. It just happens like that. And I've been around the game for a long time. Some guys come and go, but some get noticed. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's all I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep going, bro. I'm gonna keep going, Coach. So I'm gonna keep going. So yeah. What
you doing?
We'll do. Yeah. So let's go ahead
and when you become part of that internal brotherhood, let's make this thing happen.
Oh, I'm gonna be there, Coach.
You got a lot of plans for the future. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I already know. I'm gonna be there, Coach. Shit. Once I get that call, like I said, I'm gonna book that ticket one way, not round trip, one way. All right, let's close this out with kind of the Falcons. Let's close this out with kind of the Falcons. Kind of where can people go to find out more information? And obviously, I used to run this administer the website, the ChicagoFalconFootball.com. You can find the Chicago Falcons on Facebook. Follow Chicago Falcon _semi-pro on Instagram. And you can follow Coach Rob, Tom Rob on Facebook. But if you want to donate to the Falcons, Coach, where would they go?
Well, they basically can just contact me. My number is on the front page of the website. Send me an email or text, and if they want to do, I'll let them how to make it it happen, you know. And I don't know if I should share this out just now, but and from Syracuse, New York, Clarksdale, Mississippi, Phoenix, Arizona, and Iowa coming in next season. We are going to provide the housing and jobs and transportation for these young men that want to continue playing football.
Because that's all it's about. You know, it's all about continue playing football. You know, whether it's me coming from Cali, I mean, you know, being a Lakers fan, I mean, getting a nickname LA, or whether it be anybody else trying to come from Phoenix or wherever it may be, man. Like, that's what we play for, Coach. We play because we love football. And, you know, you continue to provide opportunities for these young men. I just want to say I was grateful, you know, for you to kind of give me the opportunity to be a player and also be a GM and also kind of, you know, just have free reign and be able to kind of, you know, relive and actually, you know, be able to prove myself once more, you know, on the gridiron, you know, because I mean, without being able to do that, I think I would have still kind of had that question mark, you know, next to my name. And now, you know, with that season, you know, kind of with the publicity, the notoriety, and the reach that I was able to establish with that, you know, and obviously the memorable moments, you know, with the guys, right? I think it's just it's something that's going to stay with me forever. So I just want to say I appreciate you.
Great.
Thank you for that, Coach. So
thank you. Thank you so much. That's what we want to hear. I not so much about football, but about being successful in life and being able to be motivated to go on and do great things and be a world changer.
Yes, sir. That's all I'm inspired to do. Once again, for listeners, you can follow the Chicago Falcons team at Chicago Falcons _semi-pro. Chicago Falcons on Facebook. You can find Coach Rob's information on the Chicago Falcons website. Once again, ChicagoFalconFootball.com. His email and his phone number, or you can reach out to me directly if you have me on social media, and I can forward you to him directly. And obviously, the Falcons are a nonprofit organization, so if you can donate, it definitely helps, you know, provide more opportunities for the young men, not only in the west side of Chicago or in the Chicago area, but, you know, internationally, nationally, all over. You know, our quarterback in 2018 was recruited from Atlanta, Georgia, so just keep that in mind. You know, we have a lot of guys coming in all over. So, Coach, is there anything else you want to say? Any parting thoughts for the viewers?
No, I just like to invite everyone to visit our website, and if you do visit, check into our guest book. Let us know that you were there, and we'll reach out to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, then, with that said, you know, checking the website.
Thank you for having me.
100%, Coach. All right, that's Coach Rob, folks. Thank you, Coach. Love you, man. Take care.
All right, now let's keep these going.
Oh, we already know. Shit. Coach.
Okay, I got to get to practice now. They paging me. They texting me. Okay.
Coach. Take care.